Hello, grade 7, and welcome back to math class. I hope you had a good weekend. Remember, we are in chapter 5, angle properties and straight lines. We have learned about complementary angles and supplementary angles and angles on a straight line and adjacent angles. You need your math book, math notebook, a protractor, possibly a ruler, and pencil. Okay, while you are settling in, remember for notes, you only need to write what is blue. If it is in black, you do not have to write it. Or if it's in black, you don't have to write it. If it's typed, you also don't have to write it. Okay, well, let's get our juices flowing and thinking about geometry. So in the diagram, AB and CD are straight lines. So AB and CD are straight lines. The measures of EOD and DOF are in the ratio of 2 to 3. Find the measures of AOC and DOB. Okay. Now, we're learning stuff to help us solve this, but what are some things that we do know already? Some things that we know straight lines. Equal 180 degrees. Okay. We know how to solve when the measure of two angles are in a ratio of 2 to 3. Okay. We know that this symbol right here means that it's a right angle. So we know that EOF is a right angle. Okay. So we will come back and answer this. You will have all you need to answer this by tomorrow. Okay. So we are going to look at first at solving problems involving angles at a point. Angles at a point. Okay. What is the sum of angles in a circle? I'm going to make you write this. Write the words angles in a circle. Change that to blue. All right. Angles in a circle equal, we talked about this on the first day, 360 degrees. Okay. So you'll notice that I put this circle here and I drew some lines inside. I drew a diameter and 2 radii. Okay. Now, you don't have to draw the circle because I want you to draw these lines and put this point in the middle. Okay. So a full turn around a point, right? A full turn around a point is equal to 360 degrees, right? Because an angle of a circle is 360 degrees. And if we're going around a point, we're making a circle around the point. Okay, and so a full turn around a point is equal to 360 degrees. Okay, so A, B, C, and D, share a common vertex O. Okay, these angles are called angles at a point. And so the sum of the measures of angles at a point is what? 360 degrees. Okay? And if you think about it, angles at a point, you can make a circle around. And so a circle, the sum of the angles in a circle measures 360. Same thing for a point, even without the circle. Okay? Now, are angles 1 and angle 2 in the diagram angles at a point? No. Angle 1 and angle 2 are not angles at a point because they do not share a common vertex. Remember our definition, okay? Angles at a point share a common vertex, okay? So if they don't share a common vertex, like this is the vertex of angle 1 and this is the vertex of angle 2, they do not share the vertex. They are not angles at a point, okay? So we are going to use our new knowledge of angles at a point to find the value of x. So when we draw this line, we have ray OC, ray OB, and ray OA. Okay. We also, which then create angle AOC, which measures 4x degrees, AOB, which measures 84 degrees, and BOC, which measures 138 degrees. These are, as I said here, angles at a point, so they should add up to 360. Okay, and we know that angle AOC is 4x. We know that AOB is 84 degrees. And we know that measure of angle BOC is 138 degrees. We can combine like terms. We get 4x plus 222. We're going to subtract 222 degrees from both sides. And we're left with 4x equals 138 degrees. Divide both sides by 4. X equals 34 and a half. Okay. Now make sure that you write the reason, okay, the reason that you know this, okay. Remember, we're working on our logic skills here, so you can't just say, oh yeah, these add up together to 360. How do you know that? Well, I know that they're angles at a point, and angles at a point tell us that the sum of the measures is 360. Okay. All right. Now, let's use angles as a point and use ratios. Okay? So, the ratio of A to B to C is 1 to 2 to 2. Okay? I drew us a box model or bar model here. So, if it's 1, it means for every A, there are 2 B's and 2 C's. So, A, B, C. So if I'm looking at that, what do we know? Well, we know that B is equal to C. They are the exact same. Okay? And we know that B is equal to 2A. 2 A's, right? We also know, what do we know about the values of A, B, and C? Well, they are all angles at a point. So the degree of A plus B plus C equals 360 degrees. So we can substitute in. We know that A is A, right? Because A is 1A. B is 2A, and C is the same as B. So we can add A plus 2A plus 2A is 5A equals 360. So A, divide both sides by 5. A equals 72 degrees. Are we done? No, we are not, because we found the value of A, which is 72 degrees. Now we need to find B. We know B equals 2A. So B equals 2 times 72, which means that B equals 144 degrees. We found B. Are we done? No. We also know that C equals B. So C equals, substitute in B, 144 degrees. And now are we done? Yes, we are. Okay? All right. We are going to apply what we learned. So, diagrams may not be drawn to scale, okay, which is why we have to only take what we are given, okay? So, looking at this, you are going to solve, okay, apply what you knew. We know, we're going to try to find the value of P. We know that COB is 145 degrees. We know that BOA is 75 degrees. And we know that COA is 7P degrees. Okay? Now, what do you know about angle AOC, AOB, and BOC? They should add up to equal, if they are angles at a point, 360 degrees. Pause this video, substitute in, and come back and check your work. So you should have substituted in 7P plus 75 plus 145 equals 360. 7P plus, we'll simplify this, which is 220. We subtract this from both sides. Equals 140. And so P equals 20. Okay? So if we were to plug P in, 20 in for P, we get 140. But we were just told to find the value of P. Okay? All right. Again, the diagrams might not be drawn to scale. So find the value of X. Looking at this diagram, can you solve for X? Pause this video and come back and check your work. Okay, you should have noticed that these three angles are angles on a point, which add up to 360. All right, then we substitute in AOC is 4X plus AOB, which is 2X, and BOC, which is 3X. If you did it in a different order, that's okay. Okay, 4X plus 2X plus 3X is 9X. X equals 40. We're going to divide both sides by 9. And that's the value of X. All right. Now, here's the true test. Can you solve it using a ratio? Okay, so the ratio of A to B to C is 1 to 2 to 5. Find the values of A, B, and C. Here's the diagram. Pause this video and come back and check your work. All right, so you should know that your ratio is 1 to 2 to 5, which means that B is 2 times A, which is 2A. And C is 5 times A, which is 5A. All right? We know that A plus B plus C equals 360 degrees. We can substitute in. We know A is A, B is 2A, and C is 5A. Combine like terms, divide by 8, and we should get 45 degrees. So we found A. Now we have to find B. B equals 2A. So B times is 2 times 45, so B equals 90. And then C equals 5A. 5 times 45 is 225. And we found C. Okay. All right. Now we're going to talk about solving problems involving angles on a straight line. Okay. This is kind of a review about supplementary angles, but just a little bit different. Now we're going to look at angles that also are around a point. Okay. So these diagrams not meant to be drawn to scale, so you have to take the information that I give you. So I tell you that angle AB is a straight line. And so I want you to find each variable. So I want you to find B and I want you to find C. Okay? So we know that angle 2 plus angle 3 equals 180 because AB is a straight line. And we know that angles on a straight line add up to 180. Okay? So we can substitute in. This should be 4B, not 4D, 4B. Okay, sorry, my fault. Okay, so measure of angle 2 is 80 degrees, and the measure of angle 3 is 4B degrees, okay, which equals 180. We subtract 80 from both sides, and we get 4B equals 100 degrees, so B equals 25 degrees. Okay, so we know that B is 25 degrees. Now we need to find C. Okay, so we're looking for angles on a straight line, right? So we know that the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 4 is 180 because they're angled on a straight line. Okay, we just found the measure of angle 1. Sorry, not measure of angle. We found the measure of angle 4. But we know that the measure of angle 1 is C, and the measure of angle 4 is B, equals 180. We don't know C yet, but we know B. We know B is 25. We subtract 25 from both sides, and C equals 155 degrees. And now we have found both A and B. All right. We're going to try this one on your own. Pause this video. So A says that BE and CA are straight lines. So find the values of R and Q. Okay? Make sure you write your reason on the sides. Okay? Pause this video and come back. So the measure of AOB plus the measure of AOE should equal 180 because of straight lines. We know that AOB is 152 degrees, and the measure of AOE is R degrees. We subtract 152 from both sides, and R equals 28 degrees. Okay. We know that the measure of angle BOC plus the measure of COD plus the measure of DOE equals 180 because of angles on a straight line. Okay. STR can be used for straight if you want, but BOC, COD, and DOE make this straight line here. Okay, so BOC is Q, COD is 68, and DOE is 3Q, equals 180 degrees. Combine like terms, we're going to subtract 68 from both sides, and we get 4Q equals 112. Divide both sides by 4, and Q equals 28 degrees. Okay, and so we found the value of R, and we found the value of Q. Do B on your own using the given. The line PQ is a straight line, and what's given in the picture in the diagram. Come back and check your work. So you should have done that 149 plus the measure of angle M is 180 degrees because, and this doesn't have letters. You could add letters if you wanted to, but Q, O, X plus XOP, which is M. We subtract 149 from both sides, and the measure of M degrees equals 31. Okay. Now we can solve for the other side. So we should choose to choose because you only know that PQ is a straight line. Even though this may look like a straight line, kind of, you don't know that it's a straight line. Okay. We only know that PQ is a straight line. So we're going to add up these, and we're going to do, sorry, this should be angles on straight line. Add up to 180 because of angles on straight line. Oops. We know N, we don't know N, but we know M, so we can substitute in. And we get N equals 163 equals one, oh, sorry, N does not equal that. N plus 163 equals 180. Subtract 163 from both sides, and you get N equals 17.